Hey, Looney Tunes, the Streamlord of the morning. That's right, I haven't even gone to bed since last night's stream. So, I decided to go live when I saw that Donald Trump was holding a goddamn press briefing. We were over the crack. He's cracking. I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to be a crackdown on homelessness and crime, a federalization of Washington D.C. I don't know. I do not know. Oh, you can't even see me right now. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Here I am. Here's my face. Although, should we switch to TV? I'm going to switch to this one. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you prefer, chat? This one? Or that one? This one? Or that one? 1, 2. 1 or 2.
Do they look ready back? Yeah. No. I'll get down there. The camera pan.
God, I am tired right now. How are you doing, Space Fams? Have you had a good morning so far? People want the TV or no TV? It seems to be a little contentious right now. Some people want the TV, others don't want the TV. It's kind of split. Oh boy. I did not realize I was going to create some sort of scandal here on top of the already potential scandal we're about to talk about. Now, here's a question. If Donald Trump federalizes DC, will it become a state as well? Will they get voting rights? Will they have actual representation in Congress? These are questions I'm asking myself right now. You know, they don't have, I don't know if I like this live stream. I might switch feeds. I can't hear anything. I was listening, who was I listening to just now? Because that was, I could actually hear on I was listening on my phone. PBS is the one with the good mics. PBS is the one with the good mics. The guys who we just took away all the federal funding from. Okay. I just realized the goddamn soundboard isn't even on. I was about to go, I was about to hit a sound shot. I was like, oh no, the soundboard is off. Another attempt to distract from Epstein? Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. This is a fair point you're making right now. Strong point there from you, Sue. PBS won't have those mics for long, says Soleil. Good one. I need my sound. I need the soundboard on. This is unfair. Everything is wrong. No soundboard? How am I supposed to just do the sound shots with my mouth?
I made a huge tiny mistake.
There we go. There are the sound shots we deserve. Actually, I take it back. Oh, I just realized the sound is off. That's not helping. And it's still quieter. Why is it so much quieter? Oh, then. Now I'm partly covering the left image. That's a good point. God damn it. Why is everybody making such good points right now? Wow, that was an exciting moment. Wasn't expecting that. It's got tumultuous up in here. Good old Ministry of Truth is getting all fun. All sorts of fun. Where's President Grandpa? I don't know.
This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
Do I look like his mom? Do I look like Donald Trump's mom to you, Looney?
All right. They made no official announcement, so I don't know if you heard come from them. So it's still a standby. Thank you very much. Thank you. And everyone will love my second question.
Why are they stalling so much? Do you know how long they've been live now? This feed has been these poor press people have been sitting here at attention. And whatever, I always forget this guy's name. He's like Budget Steve Witkoff. Budget Steve Witkoff over here has been trying to entertain the troops for like 30 minutes. Trump is just like, for whatever, he's just like taking his sweet freaking time on this one. I need a drink. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got the tea. Yes, correct, HBX. We gonna watch this fall live right here, okay? That's what's happening this morning. Together, as a space fam should. You think Donald Trump's giving an interview on Fox News right now? Like ahead of the press briefing? That's a good one. That's hilarious. If that is what he's doing, that is hilarious to me. Think of all the crimes that have happened in D.C. Now, some people are saying that this is an obfuscation of the Epstein files. They're just trying to throw more smoke, which is entirely possible. I think it could be multiple reasons. I think Donald Trump might, have strong feelings about big balls. This guy, Edward Korestein, aka Big Balls, who was beaten up by two teenagers, one boy and one girl, young children. He was assaulted after trying to stop a crime in progress, supposedly. The Phantom Menace is going to declare DC is not a franchise. Yes, correct. Correct. It's going to be one big Trump property is what it's going to be. It'll be all gold, everything, everywhere. Here was the story, since we're just sitting here twiddling our freaking thumbs. How long has this been going on for at this point? I need to go back here. Hold on. How far does this go back? 35 minutes. I was exactly right on with that 30-minute claim I said earlier. 35 minutes the press has been sitting here. Cameras on, mics on, waiting attention. Literally nothing happening. Okay, this was ABC News from 5 days ago. 19-year-old former Doge worker assaulted in D.C. carjacking attempt. 2 15-year-old suspects were arrested, according to police. That's right, 2 15-year-olds beat up Doge staffer Big Balls. 2 15-year-old suspects have been arrested in connection with an attempted unarmed carjacking in Washington, D.C. by a group of perpetrators in which a 19-year-old man, identified by President Donald Trump and Elon Musk as a former Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge, employee, was assaulted, according to police.
Illegal.
The victim who was assaulted was one Edward Corstein, according to an incident report provided by the Metropolitan Police. Now it's one. I'll keep reading it. The attempted carjacking unfolded early Sunday in northwest Washington, D.C., according to a police statement. Corstein and a woman were standing next to their car on Swan Street, several blocks from Logan Circle, when they were allegedly accosted by multiple suspects, according to police. The suspects demanded the victim's vehicle and then assaulted one of the victims. A police cruiser arrived as the assault was in progress, prompting the suspects to flee on foot, authorities said. Officers on the scene were able to quickly catch the two of them, a boy and a girl. That's right. Big Balls, taken down by a young boy and a girl. One of the victims was treated on Sunday on the scene by DC Fire and EMS for injuries sustained in the assault, according to the police statement, which adds that multiple suspects remain outstanding. The juvenile suspects, both from Hyattsville, Maryland, were arrested on charges of unarmed carjacking, according to police. Biggest balls. When are we going to get our display names back rather than handles? Handles are hella annoying. Are we the only stream dealing with this? Has anybody been in any other live streams lately? Is everybody else dealing with this goddamn YouTube handle bullshit? Give us back our display names or give us death, I say. I stand corrected. There are some fates where it's the death. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Are you referring to having to sit here waiting eternally for Donald Trump to come out here at the Ministry of Truth and tell us what is going on in D.C.? Letter Hackamus in the Chatamus. Good to see you. Good to see everybody, honestly. I should do some shout-outs. I usually shout out during streams. Looney Tunes, Sue Fairy Dust B, Soul Life, Mono Whip, Icebreaker Gaming, Brizla, Sammy, D-Derb, HBX, Nightbot's even here. Winnie Rose. Good to see you, Space Fams, on this Monday morning. What are they doing right now? What is taking so goddamn long? It's been 40 minutes. We're just sitting here. I mean, the entire press is just sitting here. Cameras on, streams going, ready to go. What is happening back there? There's so many devices right now. We're causing a goddamn energy crisis as we speak. We're waiting for those of you wondering, we were waiting for Donald Trump to come out. He's going to make a statement supposedly about crime in Washington, D.C. Earlier this week, he alluded to possibly doing a federal takeover of Washington, D.C. So I'm not sure what is going to happen, because his claim about why he wanted to take over Washington, D.C. was about the crime. because old Big Balls got beat up by a little girl. And so we have to just think about that for a second. Saying it out loud is fucking, it's just too much.
That's too much, man!
We are out here to decide on whether or not the federal government's going to take over Washington, D.C. because Big Balls got beat up by a little girl, okay? That's what happened.
And now you'll see just how I won that championship.
I mean, this woman is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen.
Poor yes, I mean, it's tough. It's tough out there. Oh, God. Yeah, I also heard that HBX. I too heard about the potential for, like, he was also like some of the titles of this live stream are that there's gonna be about homelessness too, and so I don't know what, I guess all the homeless, are they gonna exit the homeless exodus from the, where are they gonna go exactly? They start a commune in Iowa or something? Ne pas le Dr. Orange. Voulez-vous Dr. Orange avec moi? He's gonna liberate Washington? I'm too liberated at this point, okay? Liberation Day, Unliberation Day, Re-Liberation Day, Re-Liberation Week, and now we're gonna liberate. Nah, there's too many liberations. That's too many liberations.
That's too much, man!
Come on!
They're gonna bust them in a giant circle so they can continue to say that they're a problem, is that they just don't pull up on their bootstraps hard enough. I see. So it's just like a it's a never ending, it's like a feedback loop. That sounds productive. At some point, one of those buses is going to break down, and there's a job right there. That's a job created. Put that down. put that down. Oh, God. I mean, with the jobs reports from May and June, you know, you got to count every single one. Holy shit. This is insane.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
It has been 45 minutes. It has been 45 minutes we've all been waiting here. Patiently. For the president to come give us the news from the old Ministry of Truth briefing room here. How am I to know what to believe right now if I don't have... Hopefully Caroline Levitt will be here, at least to make things clear. Caroline, where are you? Tell us what the president's going to say, goddammit. Maybe he died, says Dieter. It could, hey, who knows? Anything could have happened in the last 45 minutes. Entirely possible. Not ruling anything out right now. Dark Sparkle thinks it's a prank.
Until the briefing.
2 minutes into... Was that Caroline? I think that was Caroline. I think she's listening to the Galactic News Network cast right now. The White House is listening to the spacecast. They're like, okay, even this weird dude in a helmet is saying we're taking too long. 2 minutes, people. Write that down. Set your watches right now. Two minutes. It's 10:36 right now. Can't wait for this. Cannot wait. Very excited. And by excited, I mean, good God, am I dreading this? Hard. This is going to be hard. I'm already prejudging it. This is going to be terrible. I can just feel it in my bones. What can I say? Two minutes equals 2 minutes. 2 weeks. 3 minutes. We'll be out. We'll be right out. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We will have a ceasefire. It could be that. That's a good point. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen this chatter before. Faithful of Ultramar. Thank you. That's yeah. It could be 3 minutes. At least we set our watches, right, everybody? So we'll know in case we were just lied to by the White House. It's like hindsight for the future. Oh, there's Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, Janine Pirro, Hag Pete. Oh, they got all the big players. Pete Hegseth over here. I almost called him Gavin Newsom. Fucking hell. He does look like a pickled Gavin Newsom. I can't think of his name now. I just want to call him Pickled Gavin Newsom. What is this dick's name? I know. Fucking hell. Oh my God, Cash! What is going on with Cash? And why is he looking at us like that? Can you make your eyes look normal? Oh my God, why does Cash always look like that? Oh my God, why does he? He comes out here looking like a fucking psychopath. Wow. Doug Burgum, thank you. Yes, thank you. Pickled Gavin Newsom, aka Doug Burgum.
I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people, most I've ever seen in this room. And we're here for a very serious purpose, very serious purpose. Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border.
Oh, thank God.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
Taking back the
Under
capital.
the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
Oh, my God.
And you people are victims of it.
We're all
You're
victims.
reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something.
Huh?
And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher.
Jesus Christ.
The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged-out maniacs and homeless people.
Children are running through the
streets. We're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it.
The children have taken over D.C.
Like we did,
it's all gone.
On our southern border. Nobody comes through our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And, when you take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities.
Oh, not more charts.
Red is...
More charts.
Okay. The red is...
They have been trotting out so many fucking charts today, this week. So many charts. Baghdad.
Is
what?
We doubled up on Baghdad.
Why are we talking about Baghdad?
Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs.
What is happening?
Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and
Stay focused. What
they are. So
what
do
is
you want
this?
to live in places like that?
Just
I don't think so.
Just smacks the microphone.
I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. D.C., 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. Is that where you want to live?
Is that what you want?
The world? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons.
Illegal.
I can't see them.
Worse.
We need to zoom out. Can we zoom out? Thank you.
Thank
worse. You. Thank you. I need to see the charts.
Recent indication.
How am I supposed to know?
There was a story about a man who was just left. He quit because he was asked to do phony numbers on crime. And we're going to look into that. I think Pam is going to be looking into that.
Illegal.
But he was asked by the city, I guess, that we don't want to show the real numbers. Let me do numbers so it looks like it's going down. Not going down.
Not going down.
And under Biden, it was a disaster. And nobody did anything about it. We're going to do things about it like you wouldn't believe. Every American has a constitutional right to be able to access and petition their government in safety, and countless federal officials and employees likewise have the right to carry out their jobs without being shot. As you know, I lost a very good person.
Who's what?
A while ago was shot waiting for his wife. He was in the car. They robbed his car. They shot him. They killed him like it was nothing to it.
What are you talking
She was
about?
walking to the car. It's a horror.
Oh, here we go. Big balls.
This issue directly impacts the
big ball.
functioning of the federal government.
Oh, the federal government can't function because
America.
Children.
Really, it's a threat to our country.
Mm.
We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is.
No more. It's gone.
We have other cities that are very
Los
bad.
Angeles is
New York
gone.
has a problem.
DC gone.
And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over
Not
this.
gonna do it.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't
And
be
this
prudent
will
at this juncture.
Go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C. and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say.
Immediately,
Days ago, a
if
former
not
member
sooner.
of the Doge staff was savagely beaten by a band of roving thugs after defending a young woman from an attempted carjacking. He was left dripping in blood. He thought he was dead with a broken nose and concussion. Can't believe that he's alive. He can't believe it. In June, a 21-year-old congressional intern was tragically killed after being hit by a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting. A former Trump administration official named Mike Gill, fantastic person, was murdered last year in cold blood in a carjacking blocks away from
I can't
the
believe
White
Big
House.
Balls survived that brutal beating from those
We all
children.
knew him. Great person. Waiting for his wife as she was walking to the car. A Democrat congressman was also carjacked at gunpoint not far from the Capitol. And in 2023, an aide to Senator Rand Paul was stabbed in the chest and head by a demented lunatic as he walked down the street, just absolutely for no reason. Horrifically, last July 4th weekend, a 3-year-old girl was shot in the head and killed while sitting in a car near the Capitol. It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness.
Oh my God, the sound
And we're
is
getting
gone
rid of the slums,
completely.
too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of
Jesus
them. I know it's not
Christ.
politically correct.
Somebody fix
You'll
that
say,
shit.
oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live.
We're gonna get rid of the slums. We're just gonna bulldoze them.
Caravans of mass youth rampage through city streets at all times of the day. There are ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. Entire neighborhoods are now under emergency curfews. Just this past weekend, gunfire went through, and you saw that, the Navy Yard. I saw it this morning. They saw that they fought back against law. See, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last night. And they're not going to be fighting back long, because I've instructed them and told them whatever happens, they love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face.
How dare they yell?
And then they start spitting in their face. How rude. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they can hit real hard. It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 3-4 years. I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any search. So and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want.
Do whatever you
This
want.
dire public safety crisis stems directly from the abject failures of the city's local leadership. The radical left city council adopted no cash bail. By the way, every place in the country where you have no cash bail is a disaster. That's what started the problem in New York, and they don't change it. They don't want to change it. That's what started it in Chicago. I mean, bad politicians started it, bad leadership started it, but that was the one thing that's central, no cash bail. Somebody murders somebody and they're out on no cash bail before the day is out. We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute. I spoke with Pam and Todd and everybody. We're going to change the statute, and I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote because the Democrats are weak on crime. Totally weak on crime.
Totally weak.
They don't know why.
Very nasty.
They want to stop because they get mugged too. But we're going to change no cash bail. We're going to change the statute and get rid of some of the other things. And we'll count on the Republicans in Congress and Senate to vote. We have the majority, so we'll vote. We don't have a big majority, but we've gotten everything, including the great, big, beautiful bill. Got that done, and that's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to people in this country. They're starting to figure it out, how good it is. Biggest tax cut in history. So many things. But we'll be able to get that done. So, Todd, if you and Pam can draw up things working with the people.
Pam?
I'll get it passed. We'll get it passed with the Republicans. Probably won't get, think of this, probably won't get one Democrat vote because they have no idea what they're doing. That's why they want men playing in women's sports. That's why they want transgender for everybody.
What
Everybody transgender.
are we doing?
And they just got walloped in an election, in a landslide, and they haven't changed one thing. I saw the other day the certain gentleman who was a very well-known politician, Democrat, was fighting like hell that men should be allowed to play in women's sport. They just don't get it. They said it's an 80-20 issue, and I think it's a 97-3 issue. And I don't know who the three are. I've never heard.
This is the very definition.
Nobody's ever come up to me. Sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. You have to do it, sir. Nobody's ever approached me. I don't know where this
your
issue
son just
comes
posted a meme
from. Never seen anything
of
like it.
you throwing a dildo
But
at
they turned our nation's
WNBA
capital
players.
into a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Like you care
That's the other
about
thing. We have to get
women.
rid of sanctuary cities as quickly as possible. We're going to do it too. We have to, because it's sanctuary for criminals. Releasing illegal alien gang members onto the streets in 2022, nearly 70% of criminals arrested in Washington went unprosecuted. That's not going to happen with the group we have standing aside and standing behind me. And at the Metropolitan Police Department, it's now reached a small number relatively compared to what it was, but it's thousands of people. You know, we have thousands of police. I was told today, sir, they want more police. I heard a number, 3,500 police. That's a lot of police. 3,500. I thought they were going to say, we only have 30 policemen or women. He said, we have 3,500. We need more. You don't need more. That's so many. I never heard. That's like an army.
You don't need more. It's like an
How
it's
could
like
you
an
need more
army.
than 3,000? It just
It's true.
happened 2
We need
minutes
less
ago.
police. Defund the police.
Sir, they've requested more police.
We're gonna defund the police.
What do they have? About 3,500. I said 3,500.
That's too much.
This is not a big area. It's ridiculous. What you
This
need
is
is rules and
ridiculous.
regulations, and you need the right people to implement them. And we have the right people here. That I can tell you.
Too many police, but we're gonna send in the
border.
National Guard.
Biden said there's nothing you can do. Kamala was the border czar. She never called one of the Border Patrol agents who are great. ICE is great. Never spoke to anybody. Never went there. But she was the border czar. And everybody said it was impossible to fix. I fixed it in 3 months. No, really. I fixed it the first week, but really fixed it over the last couple of
Immediately.
months. And I mean, literally to a point where, as I said, 0 illegals entering our country in the last 90 days. Pretty amazing. It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to just take years, because a lot of people die in years.
Huh?
We've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job.
What are you talking about?
And that we will deliver like nobody's ever delivered before.
Grandpa is melting.
I actually think it's easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. You know, a lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police, and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got some police, but they're rough police, and they do their job. They don't have crime. We're not gonna
No
have
crime.
either.
There's no crime
They
there.
made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Again, cashless bail. Watch what we do with that. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I
Donald
don't
Trump
like being
just
up here talking
declared
about how
martial law.
unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was, with graffiti all over the walls. It's another part of it, by the way. because we're talking about safety, but we're also talking about beautification. We have the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly. We're going to replace the medians that are falling down all over the roads. We're going to replace the potholes. We're going to put a nice new coat of asphalt over the top. No, we don't have to rip the road out and spend 7 years building a new road because they cut everything. Because some designers said, well, we need 1/4 of an inch more turn for safety reasons. No, we're going to do it right. We're going to get it done quickly. So today we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia. And Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan
So am I to
Police
understand
Department as of this moment.
Donald Trump correctly?
And I'll be
here?
making the appropriate notifications to Congress and to the mayor, our new DEA administrator, who's one of the top in the country. He better be Terry. If you're not, I'm going to get rid of you so fast. Terry Cole. Terry, thanks.
Thanks, Terry.
Just got him. Most highly recommended.
Great job,
person.
Terry.
And you'll be designated as the interim federal commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Department. Okay? And you run them tough. They're good. You have a lot of good people. You have people that shouldn't be there. You also have people that shouldn't be there. They got in there because of woke. But you have a lot of great police. And those people are the ones that want to help you.
Because of woke.
This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement, and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy.
You should be ashamed of yourself for having that thought.
When you walk down the street, you're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the street. You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed. By the way, we're going to have National Guard, but Pete Hegseth will tell you about it. We will bring in the military if needed. People say, "Oh, that's so terrible. He's going to bring in." It's been used many times over the years. I don't think we'll need it. I think we've got so many great people, including the people that are in the police department with proper leadership. They'll immediately begin massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. Wow. They won't be here long. But some of these people, a lot of them, are homegrown criminals. And these are bad people. These are rough people. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today that were criminals removed from the D.C. streets this weekend. They were rough and tough. But we're rougher and tougher. Look at these people here.
Look, I got a whole list.
Nothing, you know.
Look,
they're not going to be your local
list.
school teacher.
It's a one-page list.
This guy has killed people numerous times. They're not going to be an asset. They will never be an asset to society. I don't care. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed. I'm going to ask Doug Burgum to come up and say a couple of words because he's in charge, as you know. He's Interior, but he's in charge of the U.S. Park Police. And I've heard so many great things about the Park Police. They're proud of it. They've been there for a long time. Their families oftentimes grow into the roles. They love the country. They love this area. So, Doug, could you say a few words, please?
Please, Doug, come out here and
Thank you, Mr.
save
President.
us.
On behalf of the U.S. Park Police, this is the oldest federal police force in the nation. They were formed in 1791 by none other than President George Washington. They've got the awesome responsibility of protecting our nation's most sacred monuments. In the National Mall, Washington Monument, Jefferson Memorial, Lincoln Memorial,
Oh, my God.
Statue of Liberty, and out west, the Presidio.
I'm pausing Doug for a second here, just because, you know, speaking of monuments, we're putting back up the Confederate monuments in D.C. and then declaring martial law. That's what we're doing right now. That's what's happening right now, people.
Trump is now allowing them to enforce the law. As those of you that live...
The Confederates, the separatists, have taken over the Capitol. The coup it's happening right now. Here it is.
In the city, you may know that the circles and the triangle parks that are spread throughout D.C. are actually federal park property. So the U.S. Park Police also have responsibility for that. These became littered with homeless camps under the Biden administration. All of you saw that. Since President Trump's executive order on March 27th, making D.C. safe and beautiful again, the U.S. Park Police have removed over 70 homeless camps. And President Trump also talked about beautification. They're stopping and enforcing the laws against graffiti on our monuments. They've removed over 80 specific attacks against our history with graffiti on our monuments. So they continue to do a great job, whether it's in their vehicles, on foot, or on the mounted police that you see around the National Mall. And President Trump, they thank you. The rank and file is so happy to be enforcing the law again. Thank you for your leadership. And they're excited about the announcement you're making today.
Thank you. Very good. Great job you're doing. Thank you very much. Pete, could you say something about the military, if you would?
Well, Mr. President, it's an honor to be here. And at your direction this morning, we've mobilized the D.C. National Guard. It'll be operationalized by the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, through the D.C. Guard. You will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week. At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in. Other National Guard units, other specialized units. They will be strong. They will be tough.
Wow.
And they will stand with their law enforcement partners. This is nothing new for DOD. As the President noted, at the border, we've got 10,000 troops down there who've been operating in defense cooperation areas.
All because Big Balls got beat up by a child, a young girl.
Crossings because of troops on strikers.
All because a Doge
scanning the border.
employee.
We've been protecting other people's borders for 20 years. It's about time we protect our own.
Got punched in the face by a young girl.
In Los Angeles, we did the same thing. Working with the California National Guard, working with ICE officers. ICE officers deserve to do their job and not be attacked. We will work alongside all D.C. police and federal law enforcement to ensure this city is safe, this city is beautiful. And as I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is, we have your back as well. Be tough, be strong, we're right behind you. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm going to ask Pam, because she's now, as you heard me say, she's really in charge of a lot of what we're talking about. She's done an incredible job. And people are going to start to see the fruits of her labor. And
this is fascism. This is pure fascism right here.
Sure, President.
It's incredible. I mean, Pam Bondi is literally Trump's personal prosecutor.
Crime in D.C. is ending and ending today. We are going to use every power we have to fight criminals here. President, thank you for caring about our capital. Families come here every summer. Our museums are free. We have the National Zoo. We have the National Gallery. DC should be a place where everyone can come and feel safe. Behind me and to my side, we have some of the best career.
Can anybody imagine Merrick Garland doing this during the Biden administration? Can you imagine Biden coming out here and being like, Merrick Garland's got something for you to say, right? It got something to say to you right now. This is fucking insane.
Law enforcement and prosecutors in the country who are ready to take this on. As the president said, Terry Cole is going to be supervising the Metro Police Department. Gaddy Serralta, our U.S. Marshal, is going to be supervising command and control, the entire operation. Our Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, and I will be working with them closely, along with our great FBI Director, Kash Patel. Kash is going to talk to you in a minute about what we did in Virginia recently with Governor Youngkin. Many of you covered that, and it was tremendously successful. Not only that, our secret weapon here in D.C. is U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, one of the toughest prosecutors and a former judge. And she is going to be talking about juvenile crime, how it's out of control here, and what she's going to do to fight back. No more crime rampant in our beautiful capital. No more teenage girls beating a disabled man to death. No more of that. No more drive-bys. We're going to do everything we can. And working with the ATF Director Driscoll and Commander of the Army, we're going to all work together. That's what we all do in this room. We work together. We fight. Do not underestimate one person in this room. We're going to make D.C. beautiful. We're going to make D.C. safe again. One other thing, just at the wharf a few days ago, the area of the wharf, Terry Cole reached out to me, not even nightfall, on the weekend, where so many families and tourists go. A guy's overdosing from fentanyl on a park bench in the middle of families around. They administer Narcan and saved his life. No more of that. The President of the United States is going to clean up D.C., and we're going to be there to help him, and we're going to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Cash, talk about Northern Virginia, if you will. Northern Virginia, we had a big success.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for your leadership, Deputy Attorney General, and the rest of our interagency partners. Mr. President, the following is what happens when you let good cops be cops, and I just want to highlight that before I get into Northern Virginia. This year alone, under President Trump's administration, we've had over 4,000 child victims identified and found. That's a 33% increase from the same time period last year.
Why are we talking about this right now? This is fucking
a seizure of.
This is fucking hilarious. They got the FBI coming out here. They're not going to release the Epstein files, but we're going to talk about all of our success in stopping child victims and stop them from becoming victims. Oh, so thank God. Oh, thank God. Even though the guy right behind you is probably on the Epstein files about 1,000 times. You know, the files that you won't release.
1,500 kilograms of fentanyl up to this date. That is a 25% increase since the same time period last year. And just to put it in perspective, 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl is enough to kill 115 million Americans. 115 million Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi. Your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens and protecting our children, and the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how do we do it? And what are we going to bring to D.C.? What we did in Northern Virginia, thanks to Terry Cole and Governor Youngkin and the team, we stood up a task force out in my Northern Virginia field office, and we said, let's let good cops be cops. Let's get them the intelligence and what they need, and let's get the red tape out of their way, and let's get DOJ partnered up with us to bring great prosecutions. And that's exactly what we did. In 1 month, we arrested 545 violent felons. 545 in the state of Virginia, thanks to Governor Youngkin's partnership. And that simplicity in law enforcement is what's coming to Washington, D.C.
I'll be right back.
When you let good cops be cops, when you give them the intel they need, when you work with our Homeland Security Task Force, when you work with Terry and Gaddy and I go way back to Miami, these guys are great leaders of the respective departments and law enforcement capacities. And when you have the DOJ and President Trump driving behind this mission, we are going to clean up Washington, D.C., and we're going to do it the right way, the lawful way, and we're going to make sure Washington, D.C. is safe again. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cash. So the process begins right now. It actually started over the weekend, and we confronted a lot of very bad people. But it's going to be something that will be pretty amazing to you as you watch it. And I think most of you say it's a beautiful thing to do it right. We're going to be removing homeless encampments from all over our parks, our beautiful, beautiful parks, which now a lot of people can't walk on. They're very dirty, we've got a lot of problems. But we've already started that. We're moving the encampments away, trying to take care of people. Some of those people, we don't know how they even got there. Some of those people are from different countries, different parts of the world. Nobody knows who they are. They have no idea, but they're there. We're getting rid of the people from underpasses and public spaces from all over the city. There are many places that they can go, and we're going to help them as much as you can help. But they'll not be allowed to turn our capital into a wasteland for the world to see. The Metropolitan Police Department and the federal authorities will be supported in the effort, a really big effort,
Trump just say that people can't walk through the parks because they're dirty? I'm sorry, what? When has something being dirty prevented anybody from walking through a park?
800 D.C. National Guardsmen that we'll put on, and much more if necessary. Much more. You remember I said, I offered 10,000 once. Remember I said to a certain person, person who I thought always was highly overrated, not very competent. But I said, if you need them, we'll give you 10,000 of the military or the National Guard. They turned me down. But if necessary, we're going to move service members directly to joining the Guardsmen. And that'll take place very rapidly, and that'll be done in conjunction with Pam and with Pete and everybody else.
Not sooner.
Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, and most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. And we're going to make it that. We're going to make it safe. We're going to make it smart. We're going to make it beautiful.
When was Washington, D.C. the safest, most beautiful city in the world?
We're going to add to it. You see what we've done at the White House. White House is a whole different building. I do that in my part-time because it's a natural instinct as a real estate person. I was very good at that, and I was very good at fixing things up. I like fixing things up. You see what's happening. The marble floors are being reinstalled, renovated, fixed. The whole place is becoming very beautiful. We're going to be adding a magnificent ballroom, most beautiful ballroom, I think, anywhere. We need it. I would have certainly loved to have had it today. I think we would have filled it up. A lot of you are standing outside, can't get in this room. I have never seen the room like this, which tells me that you want to talk about, I mean, this was a D.C. news conference. It tells me that you want to talk about crime in D.C. and beautification of D.C., but I'm going to put that, that's easy.
Crime and beautification.
And I think, frankly,
Top
fixing
two.
the crime with the pros, fixing the crime is easy, too. A person who I've known for a long time, and she's been incredible. She was a fantastic, one of the best ever district attorneys in New York. She was in Westchester, and she became a judge, very successful judge. And then she went into showbiz because she was such a good DA and such a good judge, tough judge, but fair, always fair. Nobody ever complained about that, but she was tough. And because of that and her reputation, she went into showbiz. So a lot of people don't, they think of Janine as showbiz. Actually, showbiz was not her thing. It was, and she did great.
That was not her. She was actually really bad
with a
at
couple
Fox
of
News.
other
She was
of
my
my
least
friends on
favorite.
the #1 show. And she did great, but this is what she loves doing. This is really her baby. What she's going to do is going to be incredible. And I'd like to speak for just a few seconds on what she has in mind, what she wants to do. We're going to be appointing some judges. We have some open spots, and we're going to take people because the judges are letting killers out. They just say, go. That's okay. Don't worry about it. So we're putting some Pam recommended, Todd recommended, some judges that are great. Janine recommended. Janine's given me 3 great candidates already. We have about 10 open spots, and we can probably create some more. We need them. Janine, would you say a few words, please?
Thank you very much.
I wonder
Mr.
how many
President,
glasses
and
of wine
Madam Attorney
Janine has
General,
had
and to
today.
all my partners here.
What do you think?
We all want the same thing. We all want a safe city. We want a safe capital. We want to be able to bring our families here. We want to be able to come and enjoy the history that makes this place great. And unfortunately, we are not in that position right now. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for taking the step that we need right now to make criminals understand that they are not going to get away with it anymore. And I'm not going to stand here and go over and over the cases. But what I can tell you is this. I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you
weak.
if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest. Intent to kill? I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the D.C. Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens, and it starts today. But it's not going to end today, because the president is going to do everything we need to do to make sure that these emboldened criminals understand
Children.
we see you, we're watching you, and we're going to change the law to catch you.
Let's
And
not
my
forget,
final
this
note
is
is
all
this.
because Big Balls couldn't
These
beat
kids
up a
understand
15-year-old girl.
that the jurisdiction is through the state attorney general, Brian Schwab. I did a poster of the young man from Doge who was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids, because I can't arrest them, I can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough. It changes today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Great job. Thank you. If I could, I just signed some executive orders. I'd like to have Will please come up and we'll...
Tell them what I signed, because I don't know what it
Put
was.
them down?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I never know what I
In the
signed.
Oval Office, President Trump signed
Just like
two
signing my name.
crucial executive actions to deal with the emergency crime conditions we currently face in the District of Columbia. The first of these was an executive order, as President Trump said before, invoking his powers under Section 40 of the Home Rule Act to take federal control of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department. Along with that executive order, President Trump signed the statutorily required notification letters to Mayor Bowser and to the relevant House and Senate committee leaders. The second major executive action that President Trump signed was a presidential memorandum directing the Secretary of Defense to utilize the National Guard.
Who is this guy? I think he's unripened Steve Miller, right? This guy is like, you know, like in like 15 years he'll morph into Stephen Miller.
To address the conditions we see on our streets here in D.C. It also authorized the Secretary of Defense to work with state governors to utilize their National Guard units if necessary as well. These are bold, decisive steps intended to combat the out-of-control crime conditions we've seen on D.C.'s streets for far too long, and I, for one, am deeply proud to be part of an administration that's finally coming to terms with these issues, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you. So, just to conclude, Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, most beautiful places anywhere in the world. It was years ago. We had one problem that was a pretty big problem. The radical left got out of control and they started trying to rip down statues. And I said, let's go pass a law real fast. We're going to do it real fast, but we were blocked by the Democrats who do not want safety. Nobody gets it. I don't get it. They don't get it because they can't get votes. I don't know how they can win an election with this, but they don't want safety. And I found an old statute, very old, early 1900s, that said if you so much as touch or even think about destroying a statue or a monument in
Yes, put up the
Washington,
Confederate
D.C.,
monuments again.
you go to jail for 10 years.
Jail.
No probation,
Illegal.
no anything. In other words, slightly
Immediately
different than we
jail.
have today. Today we have cashless bail. Today you get jail 10 years. No curtailed sentence, 10 years. And we took it out. Nobody used it. It was never used because, you know, it's harsh. And you remember they started to rip down the statue of Abraham Lincoln. I said, that's a tough one to rip down. He was pretty good, Pam. I think he was pretty good.
He was the greatest.
When the ropes started going around Abraham
How would
Lincoln
you
to
have a
pull
problem
him
with
down,
Abraham?
Andrew Jackson, others. And they were heading to the Jefferson Memorial, Thomas Jefferson. They're going to do a big number there. I said, it's time. And
what is Grandpa
I signed
talking
that
about?
statute immediately. We had it updated. We made it use the same language, all passed by Congress. And I announced it's 10 years in jail, no probation, no anything, 10 years, no curtail sentence if you
Wow.
touch so much as
If you touch the statue, you go to
Washington,
jail
D.C.
immediately.
Immediately, if not sooner.
It was an amazing sight, beautiful sight. Everybody just left. The ropes were hanging around Andrew Jackson, and there were two ropes around Abraham Lincoln. They left the rope.
What do you have against Old
Everybody
Hickory?
just left, and that was the last problem we ever had. You know, that was the last problem that we ever had with the statues. They were going wild, and we. Somebody came to me and said, "Sir, in 1910, I don't want to give you an exact because you'll say Donald Trump gave us wrong dates around like early on. You know, if I'm slightly off, they make you sound a little bad. So I won't put myself in that position. I won't put you in that position because I think everybody agrees with what we're doing today. But when I signed that thing, it was like a miracle. Everybody left. They were gone. They were starting to march down. They started the march toward Thomas Jefferson. And I figured he was always going to be safe.
You know what that reminds me of? I can't help myself. I know this is not, you know, but this is all I can think of right now. I can't move on until we watch this.
Now imagine you're holding coffee.
This is outrageous. Where are the armed men who come in to take the protesters away? Where are they? This kind of behavior is never tolerated in Boracua. You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it.
But they found something with him, and they found something with Abraham Lincoln, and even in the name George Washington in California, numerous places changed the name of George Washington High School and various other places. They took George Washington's name. This was a sick, woke culture that I think we've largely ended. And a lot of those people that were woke are now turning out to be the opposite. I won't go so far as to say MAGA. It's a very special category. But they've gotten out of that. But we have people that love this country, and they love this really beautiful capital. It is. I flew over it the other day, and I said, "What a beautiful place!" But if there's crime all
It's
over,
so beautiful and crime-ridden.
It doesn't look so beautiful.
So beautiful, but also crime-ridden.
We're going to fix it with crime, and we're going to also, as we're doing that, we're going to start doing things that we know how to do, that I know how to do better than anybody, I guess, because of my experience from previous life. But not only are we stopping the crime, we're going to clean up the trash and the graffiti and the grime and the dirt and the broken marble panels and all of the things they've done to hurt this city. And we're going to restore the city back to the gleaming capital that everybody wants it to be. It's going to be something very special. All of these people are really tough. Could I shake your hand, Gaddy, please? You're going to be
Can I
so
shake it?
important here.
Look, I know I'm doing a federal takeover
I
of
don't have to fire him in 2 weeks.
Washington.
Oh
my
I
God.
don't think he's
Oh
too
my
soft.
God.
If I do, I will, though.
Really?
Is it okay if you?
Oh, if he's too soft,
you're
if he's too soft, I'm gonna have to
weak,
fire him.
And pathetic, like so many people. I
Better
will
be out there in
fire
the
you
streets.
so fast.
Beating up homeless
You're not
people.
Have to worry about that. No, I think you're gonna.
No,
do
he's
a
gonna
fantastic
beat the shit
job.
out of them.
And everybody in this room, they may not express it, but they all want that to happen. You know, they want to be safe, and they have families too. So it's an honor to have such a large group. I've done this for years now. Hard to believe. I've never seen this room so packed. In fact, I'm sure it's a violation of every fire code. Illegal. But we'll let you stay anyway. You're taking a chance. And with that, we'll say maybe if you could. Oh wow. We could be here all day long. If we could keep the first questions perhaps to this subject, and then we'll go on to a few others. Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much. Can you talk about how personal of an issue this is? We talked about flying over the Washington Monument and seeing the pride of what D.C. is, and do you believe that the status of the city, the cleanliness, the way that crime is low, is a direct reflection on how the country is run?
Yeah, I do. I think the Capitol, look, everyone comes here. They're all coming. All the leaders.
Everyone's
all
here.
wanting to come.
Benjamin
And I
Netanyahu,
say it, I've said it
Viktor
again, but I'm
Orban.
really just quoting other leaders from NATO, from the Middle East, King of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE. I was over there. We brought back $5.1 trillion of investment into our country.
Brought it back
But I was
in a big briefcase.
a month and a half ago. I was at NATO We had a great thing. They agreed to put up 5% instead of 2%. 2% they didn't pay, 5% is already paid. We had a great meeting, and they all said the same thing. They said our country was dead. They thought our country was gone. 1 year ago, they said your country was dead, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. We do. We have the hottest country in the world right now. The tariffs have helped. It's given us not only the money, it's billions, trillions of dollars of money, but it gives us great power over enemies. We solved 5 wars with Pakistan and India. We just solved one. Azerbaijan and, as you know, and Armenia.
What is he talking about right now?
War was raging for 37 years. And the 2 leaders got up and they said, we never thought this would be solved. Russia tried to solve it. They all tried to solve it. It was a very tough situation, but we got it done and got it done. And I said to the 2 men, I said, are you guys friends? And they had a hard time. You know, they've been killing each other for 37 years, right? One was there 5 years, one was there for 22 years. He said, my whole life I've been fighting this war, and you got it solved. But we did many of those. We did in the Congo and Rwanda. That's been going on for 30 years.
I solved that one
8
too.
to 9 million people.
Not
killed
gonna
that
start
they
up
know
again.
of.
Don't worry.
It was raging, and we got that solved. We got a lot of them done. It's a great honor. But you want to have, when they come, the leaders come to our country to sign documents that the war is over or whatever, or for other reasons. They come for trade. And you want them to come through so beautifully. You ride down those roads, everything should be perfect. You shouldn't have medians falling down into the roadway. Median, you know, the metal things that are always, somebody had a great lobbyist, because I've never seen them look good. I've been looking at those things with the little, right? They're always broken and bad, but here they're really bad. And we're going to either put new or fix it, and it's not expensive. It's not really expensive. And we're going to fix our roads a little bit. We're going to clean up our sidewalks. You have countries where every Saturday the people go out and they wash their sidewalks in front of their stores or their houses. They scrub their sidewalks.
Would you drum up?
So we aren't quite at that level yet, I don't think, Gaddy. We're not quite there yet, but maybe we will. They go out and they scrub. I think it's so beautiful to hear that and to see those stories. But
people,
we're going to make
they sweep and they clean
But just
sidewalks.
to finish with your question,
It's truly great.
It's a very, very strong.
Be raking
reflection
our
of
forest and
our
sweeping our
country.
sidewalks.
And when they see a bad city, you know, my father always used to tell me, I had a wonderful father, very smart, and he used to say, son, when you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in, because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol. If our Capitol's dirty, our whole country is dirty. And they don't respect us. So it's a really good question.
That's how logic works. If our capital's dirty, so is the whole country.
Do you expect more cities to follow DC's path if this goes through? So the idea is that Chicago, LA, San Francisco, would they expect similar action what we've seen in DC? And the other question, sir, there's reporting that the administration is going to reclassify marijuana. Would that send mixed messages that if marijuana is okay, some drugs are okay, but we're trying to clean up crime? How do they go hand in hand?
We're only looking at that. That's early.
Is this
Somebody
really the
reported it,
question to
which is
ask
fine.
right
We're
now?
looking at it. Some people like
What?
it. Some people hate it.
What are these fucking reporters doing? He's declaring martial law in DC. He's talking about rounding up all the homeless people and sending the National Guard in the fucking Capitol right now. And you're asking about the declassification of marijuana? Are you kidding me right now, sir? Oh.
Some people hate the whole concept of marijuana because if it does bad for the children, it does bad for people that are older than children. But we're looking at reclassification, and we'll make a determination over the next few weeks. And that determination hopefully will be the right one. It's a very complicated subject, the subject of marijuana. I've heard great things having to do with medical.
Donald Trump can't stay on
bad
topic.
things having to do.
Donald Trump, you're gonna take him on a tangent? I mean, that's just irresponsible. Beyond the lack of actual journalistic ethics here. I mean, when it comes to Donald Trump, taking him off topic in the middle of this man can't stay on topic for his life. And you're going to switch topics to fucking come on.
Just about everything else. But
You
medical.
completely derailed this situation.
For pain and various things. I've heard some pretty good things. But for other things, I've heard some pretty bad things. The other part of your question, I mean, we're just going to see what happens with it all. You're going to have, we're going to have a tremendous success in what we're doing. Other cities are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching, and maybe they'll clean up, and maybe they'll do this and get rid of the cashless bail thing and all of the things that caused the problem. I mean, if you go back, this whole thing with cashless bail is a disaster. So many problems came that we never had before.
So nasty.
So
Big
they're
Balls would be
watching us
alive
today.
still.
And if they don't learn their lesson, if they haven't studied us properly, because we're going to be very successful. I have zero doubt about that. It's going to be. It's a question of will it be really fast, like the border. You know, everyone said, they used to say, Biden used to say, I need legislation. You didn't need, I didn't get any legislation. I called up our people, and we did a great job. Tom Homan was great. As you know, our secretary did a great job. They did a great job. There's no games. They didn't play games. And we're going to have the same thing here. But then I'm going to look at New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out
So much
of
incompetence.
the business, and he ran for governor. And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You know, you never
He
know
lost a
what
little
happens.
weight, so you know
But
that.
Pritzker's a gross
I could do
incompetent
it.
guy, thrown out of the family business.
I'm losing my mind right now.
But when I look at Chicago and I look at
What are we doing?
L.A.,
How is this
if
a
we
thing?
didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago,
Why
L.A.
is
would
this-
be burning like the part that didn't burn. If he would have allowed the
Why is this? I mean, what the
water
fuck?
to come down, which I told him about it when
Oh,
first. I said,
we're
"You
gonna have to do
have
something about
problems,
this,
let
people."
it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into L.A. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully L.A. is watching. That mayor also. The city's burning. They lost like 25,000 homes. I went there the day after the fire. You were there. And I saw people standing in front of a burned down home. It was, their homes were incinerated. They weren't like, even the steel was literally, it was all warped and literally disintegrated because of the winds and the flame and the whole thing, like a
is
blowtorch.
happening?
They were standing on this beautiful day.
We have a
maybe
man with
couple of days
Alzheimer's
after.
or something.
We gave it a little time.
I'm not a
because of what
psychologist.
they had
We have a
suffered.
man who is on the
Almost
brink
25,000
of complete
homes. You
insanity,
see what's happening
who is
now?
in charge of our
They didn't
country.
give their permits. I went to a town hall meeting. I said, we're going to get you the federal permits, which are much harder.
In my opinion, he's doing all of this shit to continue to obfuscate from the fact that his administration refuses to release the Epstein files. So Grandpa's panicking and also having a senior moment simultaneously and enacting, like, this is fucking wild. Turning the United States into a goddamn, like, military dictatorship.
Almost immediately. Lee Zeldin is a star. He did an incredible job. They have all their federal permits. They don't have their city permits. And the mayor said
This
to me,
is the very
we think we could
definition
have them in 2 years.
of
I was
totalitarianism.
walking down the street, and I met with firemen and police. And I was saying hello to many people that were standing in front of their homes with yellow tape. You can't go in. You can't go onto the lot. And those people wanted to start rebuilding their homes then and there. And the mayor said we should be able to get them the permits within 2 years. I said, that's a shame. 2 years? Are you kidding? I'm going to get them the federal permit like almost immediately. 2 years. And she roared back, well, maybe 1 year. The place was booing her out of the place. They don't have their permits to build their homes. And now they're talking about putting, this is among the most beautiful areas in the country. Now they're talking about putting low-income housing there. Can you believe this? I love low-income housing. I made money with low-income housing. I built low-income housing. I know more about low-income housing and luxury housing. I know about everything real estate. They want to replace some of those homes with low-income housing. They haven't gotten their permits yet. We've gotten all the federal permits, which are much tougher to get, and it was done almost immediately through Lee Zeldin and Federal Environmental. And I watched the other day, those people are angry. And now, you know, they had tremendous They loved that area. They loved the whole big area, different places, but they loved it. It was all luxury stuff and beautiful stuff, and some wasn't that luxury, but the level of love for that neighborhood, their neighborhoods, was incredible.
What?
And you know what? I watch people on television. They want to go. They want to leave. They've lost their spirit. They've lost their heart, because the mayor's incompetent, and Gavin Newsom is incompetent. Got a good line of bullshit, but that's about it. He's incompetent. And you have Los Angeles is, you know, it's amazing. You know, I called, the first thing I did, I got the Olympics to go there. I was the one that got it. And by a rare thing that happened, I'll be the president. I was very upset because I got the Olympics there, and I said I won't be president when it comes, but bad things happened, and illegal things happened, really illegal things happened.
Illegal?
Now it turns out one good thing was I'm going to be the president for the Olympics for 2050, for 250, which is going to be fantastic, and also for the World Cup. So we have a lot of good
Donald
things.
Trump says he's going to be president in 2050 just now. Oh, what the fuck? Was that a Freudian slip? Is Donald Trump expecting to be in power in 2050?
This is ridiculous.
Is going to be the best. But when I looked at those people, and I saw last night on television that they still don't have their permits, it's a disgrace what's happened in Los Angeles.
Yeah, thank you. The China tariff deadline is tonight. Do you plan to extend that?
We'll see what happens. China's been, we've been dealing very nicely with China, as you probably have heard. They have tremendous tariffs that they're paying to the United States of America. And we'll see what happens. They've been dealing quite nicely. The relationship is very good with President Xi and myself.
You mentioned your upcoming meeting with President Putin. Can you tell us what you hope to get out of that, and whether you'll consider inviting President Zelensky to join?
So you have to understand, this is a war that should have never happened. This is a war that wouldn't have happened if I were president. It would have never happened. It was the apple of his eye. I got along very well with President Putin.
Oh my God. These people really keep
if you look,
doing
under
this.
President Bush, they took a lot of territory. Under President Obama, they took a lot of territory.
Nobody, this is
Under
insane. These fucking press people, I know he goes to his favorites and stuff, but these people aren't even they're not even kind of attempting to ask serious questions about the thing that's literally at hand right now.
He took the whole thing. You know, it's just a question of time. Under Trump, you know what they took? Nothing. I was the one that said, you can't build your pipeline. That was half built. I came in, I stopped the pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody knows it. You know, nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2. You might have not even heard it. Biggest pipeline in the world. I stopped it. I was not a friend of Russia, but I got along well with Putin. It's always good to get along with other countries if possible, but that doesn't mean you roll over like Biden did. Biden came in and he immediately approved the pipeline. I couldn't believe it. Then they say Trump wasn't tough on Russia. I wasn't tough. I was the toughest. Putin said, if you're
As the
not
toughest
tough,
guy, I was
would hate
palling
like
it up with
I
that.
stopped the biggest economic development job, the biggest job that Russia had ever built. I stopped it. It was dead. And this low IQ president came in and he let them build the pipeline and supply oil and gas all over Europe, you know. So this is really a feel-out meeting a little bit. And President Putin invited me to get involved. He wants to get involved. I believe he wants to get it over with. Now, I've said that a few times, and I've been disappointed because I'd have like a great call with him, and then missiles would be lobbed into Kiev or some other place, and you'd have 60 people laying on a road dying. I said, that's cold, but it's a violent war. 5,000 to 7,000 people a week are dying. And you know, there's nobody from here. They're all Russian and Ukrainian people, and some people from the cities, much smaller number, but still, those missiles do damage and they kill a lot of people, but mostly soldiers. And they're young soldiers, although in the case of Ukraine, they're getting much older. They're drafting 60-year-olds now. It's a terrible thing to witness, and I think I have an obligation. Look, this is Joe Biden's war. This is not my war. I made a deal with...
This is insane. I'm going to move past some of this because I don't need to hear all this fucking garbage about Ukraine and Russia right now. It's just not important. I hope somebody asks a fucking serious question.
You got to end
here.
this war. You got to end it. And he wasn't... And say, good luck. And that'll be the end. I may say this is not going to be settled. I mean, there are those that...
This is insane, but yo, seriously, Shax PA just made a very good point. I almost forgot about that because of everything else that's going on right here. But Donald Trump just basically declared war on Russia, on Mexico earlier. It was like 2 days ago. It was like 2 days ago, and now he's invading D.C. He's going to invade Mexico and D.C. simultaneously.
Believe that Putin wanted all of Ukraine. I happen to be one of them, by the way.
Oh my God.
11 time zones, if you can believe it. It's a massive, it's by far, from the standpoint of land, it's by far the largest. They have tremendous potential in Russia to do well. They're not doing well. Their economy is not doing well right now because it's been very well disturbed by this. It doesn't help when the President of the United States tells their largest or second largest oil buyer that we're putting a 50% tariff on you if you buy oil from Russia. That was a big blow.
Oh my God.
And then they say, gee, he wasn't so tough. Nobody else would have done that. And I haven't stopped there. I mean, look, I was all set to do things far bigger than that, but I got a call that they'd like to meet, and I'm going to see what they want to meet about. I'd like to see a ceasefire. I'd like to see the best deal that could be made for both parties. You know, it takes two to tango, right? So ultimately, I'll have a meeting next week. I had a great relationship with him, considering the fact that, you know, I was not nice to him because of the pipeline. I ended the pipeline.
I did it. It was me.
Also gave the javelins. Do you
I
hear
did
the
it.
javelin? Javelin is called a tank buster. They say that Obama gave them sheets and I gave them javelins. If it weren't for me, all those tanks that were destroyed at
I'm the one who
first
funded
days
Ukraine,
of the war,
not
because the
Biden.
tanks got stuck in the mud.
I'm the one who did
Some
it.
commander made a better. You know, they would have been in Kiev in 4 hours, going down the highway. But a Russian general made a brilliant decision to go through the farmland instead. And they just had torrential rains, and the rains were so bad, and it was mud, and those tanks got stuck in the mud. I don't know who that general is, but knowing Vladimir, he's probably not around any longer because all those tanks were stuck in the mud, and they went along with the javelins. I gave them the javelins. You know that, right? I gave them javelins. They gave them sheets. But I'm going to meet with President Putin, and we're going to see what he has in mind. And if it's a fair deal, I'll reveal it to the European Union leaders and to the NATO leaders and also to President Zelensky. I think out of respect, I'll call him first. And then I'll call them after. And I may say, lots of luck, keep fighting. Or I may say we can make a deal.
Keep fighting.
I will tell you this. I've seen a poll coming out of Ukraine. 88% of the people would like to see a deal made. And if you go back 3 years, everybody was gung-ho for war. You know, everybody's gung-ho for war until you have it. It's an amazing thing. I had it with a couple
What
of
the
countries
fuck
where
is he talking? He's just
couldn't get a
rambling.
deal done with
Just
one
saying random
particular
words.
country.
There is no connection.
And I just couldn't. The guy's great.
There's
He's
no
a friend of mine,
connection
great.
from one
Tough
word to
as
the
hell.
next. He's just
Couldn't get
saying
the deal
random
done.
words.
And then he went into war for a short period of time. You know where I'm talking about. First term.
As long as I say a lot of
And it
words,
was
people will think I'm
nasty.
saying
Guys
something
being
smart.
killed all over the place. And he went through 1 week of war, and I was able to get the deal done. He said, "This is nasty." Yes, please.
Yeah, just to follow up on what you were saying there. First of all, Volodymyr Zelensky is not invited on Friday?
He wasn't a part of it. I would say he could go, but he's gone to a lot of meetings. You know, he's been there for 3.5 years. Nothing happened.
And what is the definition?
I mean, do you want somebody that's been doing this for 3.5 years? What's the definition of a good deal? I'll tell you after I hear what the deal is. Because there could be many definitions. You know, you're talking about a very large and complex situation. Now, I tell you.
I love how we have the whole team out here for this situation. He brought everybody out. Big press briefing about the homeless and the crime and federal takeover of Washington, D.C. And now he's talking, he's just random discussions talking about, I mean, oh my God. I literally everything other than that for the last 20 minutes. It's fucking wild.
Mr. President, I'm going to ask you two questions, one about China, one about Russia. If
Please
on
don't.
China, your administration agreed to send the most advanced or advanced NVIDIA and AMD chips.
No, obsolete. No.
Obsolete chip. Well, and then 15% of the
You
profits.
mean the
come back.
20s? No. This is an old chip that China already has. And I deal with Jensen, who's a great guy.
Jensen Wang,
NVIDIA.
great guy.
The chip that we're talking about, the H20, it's
Big,
it's an
beautiful
old chip. China already has it in a different form, different name.
In a
They
different
have
form and name. It's a different
or
chip.
They have a combination of two will make up for it, and even then some.
They have the same. It's basically
Jensen
the same
also
chip.
has-
They have the
Jensen's
same
a very
chip.
brilliant guy.
It's actually fine.
And Jensen also has a new chip, the Blackwell. Do you know what the Blackwell is? The Blackwell is super duper advanced. I wouldn't make a deal with that, although it's possible I'd make a deal, a somewhat enhanced in a negative way Blackwell. In other words, take 30% to 50% off of it. But that's the latest and the greatest in the world. Nobody has it. They won't have it for 5 years. But the H20 is obsolete. You know, it's one of those things. But it still has a market. So I said, listen, I want 20% if I'm going to approve this for you, for the country, for our country, for the U.S. I don't want it myself. You know, every time I say like 747, I want, yeah, for the Air Force. So I just wanted, so when I say I want 20, I want for the country. I only care about the country. I don't care about myself.
This guy is completely
And
unhinged.
He said, would you make it 15? So we negotiated a little deal. So he's selling a essentially old chip that Huawei has a similar chip, a chip that does the same thing. And I said, good. If I'm
It's
gonna
the
give
same
it to you,
chip.
'cause
That's why they
have
want
a,
it.
You know, they have a stopper.
That's why.
What we call a stopper. Not allowed to do it. A restricted, it's really known as a restrictive covenant. And I said, if I'm going to do that, I want you to pay us as a country something, because I'm giving you a release. I released them only from the H20. Now, on the Blackwell, I think he's coming to see me again about that. But that will be a unenhanced version of the big one. Like, I don't know if you know it, we will sometimes sell fighter jets to a country, and we'll give them 20% less than we have. You know what I mean, right? That's the same.
So on Russia, do you see a time, Mr. President, when there could be normal trade between the U.S. and Russia? Should your meeting go well, should there be peace?
I do, yeah. Russia has a very valuable piece of land. If Vladimir Putin would go toward business instead of toward war, you know, it's a warring nation. That's what they do. They fight a lot of wars. A friend of mine said Russia's tough because they just keep on fighting. They beat Hitler, so did we. And they beat Napoleon. You know, they've been doing this for a long time. I asked a question to a very, very smart man that some people like and some people don't like.
Incredibly
Viktor
smart.
Orban.
Viktor Orban's the smartest guy.
Hungary.
Victor, or yeah, have you heard of him? Hungary.
And he's in that.
It's a great,
same area
great guy, Victor.
And knows the two countries very well. I said this was before Biden didn't do anything to.
Can we get an IQ test on old Viktor Orban?
It would have never happened. I said, so can Russia be beaten by
Hitler, Victor, they're all great.
Ukraine?
Oh, the
He looked
fascists.
at me
They
like,
actually
"What
did
is
the same thing I'm
this?"
doing right now.
He said, Russia's a massive country, and they win their country, and they win their life through wars. They fight wars. That's what they do. He said, China beats you with trade. Russia beats you with war. China! Very interesting statement. China's not beating us with trade. Not when I'm in charge. But they were beating Biden with trade, but they never beat us with trade. Don't forget, China had to pay $400 billion worth of tariffs when I was last time. That was last time. And if we didn't have COVID, all of this stuff we would be loaded. We're finding hundreds of billions of dollars of cash is pouring into our country now because of tariffs. And all we're doing is we're doing what they do to us. It's so beautiful to see it. They found last month, as you saw, $25 billion of excess cash flow. They're saying, where did it come from? I said, I'll tell you where it came from. It came from a place called tariffs.
It's called from
tariffs.
tariffs.
We're really
The
doing
great,
well.
great
But
tariffs.
I expect to have a meeting with Putin that I think it'll be good, but it might be bad. And I'm here for one reason, to get rid of a war that somebody else
He's
started.
leaving.
Should have never happened. And if I could end it, great. Complex war, a lot of bad blood, But Zelensky's been there for 3.5 years. So if you put him in a room, now I will say this, ultimately I'm going to put the two of them in a room. I'll be there or won't be there. And I think it'll get solved. Yeah, please be happy.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Excuse me, I'm going to suggest, because do you have any other questions on DC? Because I don't want them to be.
Even Donald Trump is.
These are.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I've been complaining about it the whole time. And now even Donald Trump is like, can you guys stay on topic right now? Look, I get it. You got a lot of questions, but we're here to talk about D.C.
People, I don't want them to be standing up here on subjects that, does anybody have a question of them? And then you guys can leave. Okay, a question, Brian, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right.
And by the way, this is only on D.C., and then they're going to leave because it's unfair to have them stand up here all day long. Brian.
Oh my God, you have really lost the plot if Donald Trump is getting you back on topic.
By one of these teenage thugs.
Oh my God, this fucking guy. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, isn't it?
Long.
Brian. I've got two questions for you. First, about D.C. This is personal for me as well. Last year, I was robbed on the streets by one of these teenage thugs. Had a gun, got away with it. Let's talk about the effort that between law enforcement, prosecutors, and judges, because it's a recycling belt. Like, these kids go, they don't fear the police. They know it. If you talk about how we've got to get these judges and put these kids behind bars, right. Adult crimes deserve adult penalties. And my second question, I'll after you answer that, please.
You want me to answer?
Or whoever wants to take it.
It seems like Republicans are constantly getting beat up by children. It's really weird.
Problem. Assuming that they're 17 years, older than 17 years old, I can get the case. If they're under 18 years of age, I can only get the case if it's murder, rob one, rape.
But Brian doesn't want family court
anymore. Even if they
anymore.
shoot a gun but don't kill you, I can't get it. So the law has to be changed. As the president said, cashless bail. That has to be changed. All right, then even assuming I get the case, I get jurisdiction, I get a conviction, the D.C. Council has given the judges the ability to give probation on shootings. And so then it's up to them. All of these things, the Youth Rehabilitation Incarceration Reduction Act, and now they want to seal records. So if we work hard, we get a conviction, they want to wipe it out. So that needs all to be changed.
Okay, Mr. Question.
Pam, would you answer that also?
Pam, what do you get in there?
Yeah, and just back to
My
that
little
topic.
personal prosecutor.
Let's be clear, though. We're going to charge them, and we're going to track every single thing they do throughout every step of the court process and report back to you and let all of you know what's happening to them. Because the people who are prosecuting them, the judges who are trying them, they also need to be held accountable.
Mr. President, you also made the comment. You made the comment when you walked out here. This is the most people we've ever seen in this briefing.
I've never seen
ever, right?
Yeah, I've never seen any. Where's Caroline? Where's my superstar? Caroline, is Caroline in the back?
Caroline, where are you?
Where's Caroline?
Where's
Come
my
here, Caroline.
superstar?
Come here, Caroline.
Where the hell are you?
Is she doing a good job, by the way? Come here, Caroline. Is this the largest crowd that you've ever seen?
This is definitely the most packed briefing, and I think all of you would agree. I think it's why we need to build a ballroom.
Mr. President, I have a better idea.
That's why she's in the charge of the Ministry of Truth, people.
You're building the big, beautiful ballroom. Yeah. Could we build a big, beautiful briefing room, updated technology, more seats?
I don't want to do that. I don't want you to be comfortable. So no, I don't want to make life comfortable. So look. Let's just do this. Let's do this.
Listen.
It's going to be a big thing. We're going to Russia. That's going to be a big deal. What happens, happens. I'll let you know what happens. You'll be the first to know. I'll be calling the European leaders. I'm going with totally. I mean, we have a lot of talks. They're great people. They're great leaders, actually, and they want to get back. Honestly, as one of them said, I've OD'd on trying to settle Ukraine. They've OD'd, meaning they've overdosed on the settlement of Ukraine.
What are you talking?
Not a nice expression, but boy, is it accurate.
Who
They're
said
tired of
that?
it. They want to get back to spending money on their countries. You know, Biden gave them $350 billion.
I'm staying in the race.
Billion. It should be much more than that. Shouldn't have been that kind of, they should have had equalization, but they didn't. But you know what? Still a lot of money. They want to get back to building their own countries. They really want it resolved. My relationship with the European leaders, as you saw, is extremely good. It's perfect. It's beautiful.
It's perfect.
Wait.
I'm
we're
not
going to
done.
try. I'll be in touch with them. I have 5 of them call me. You think it's easy? There are a lot of European leaders, but they rely on me. Very much rely on me. If it wasn't for me, this thing would never get solved until the last person breathing is dead.
Would you talk to them before?
Mr. President.
Yeah, I did. I'm talking to him right now. So I'm talking to the European leaders. I'll be talking to President Zelensky. I'm going to get everybody's ideas. I go into that thing fully loaded right up there, and we're going to see what happens. Now, I think one of 2 things is going to happen. It's going to be a good meeting, and we'll go a step further. We'll get it done. I'd like to see a ceasefire very, very quickly. Very quick. I'd like to see it immediately, but I'd like to see it very quickly.
Not sooner.
And we're going to be dealing with the European leaders, and we're going to be dealing with President Zelensky, and hopefully we're going to have a great success. As far as what we did today, and I think you were here for D.C. more so than even Russia, because Russia will be, we have a couple of days to go, but the Russia is going to be very interesting. But to me, what is very exciting, and we're going to take back our capital. We're going to make it beautiful again, but we're going to make it, more importantly, safe again. It's going to be so safe. It's going to be a model. And then we'll look at other cities also. But other cities are studying what we're doing. And you have some capable people in other cities. They can do it too.
We'll look at
but
some
we have
other
a great
cities
group
too.
of professionals.
I gotta stop laughing because this is incredibly troubling. Honestly, I'm sorry, Chat. I'm just struggling to deal with the reality of what we're talking about. And did you hear what he just said? We're gonna do DC, and then we will probably do a bunch of other cities. Oh boy. This is the beginning of martial law right now. This is what's happening. Like LA was a test, and now they're just going and, maybe they can get people to stop talking about the Epstein files if he just declares martial law and invades every city in the fucking country. Jesus fucking Christ.
Have a safe, beautiful capital, and it's going to happen very quickly. Thank you all.
Thank you.
all.
Great job. Great job, everybody. Enjoy the fascism. Oh, thank God. I was worried that Caroline wouldn't come and explain to me. I can't understand what's happening. I need the Ministry of Truth's top representative to explain to me what the fuck just happened. Caroline, please.
How long will the takeover of D.C. police last?
Caroline.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, Caroline.
Come on!
All of them.
God damn it.
A fucking bitch.
Wow. Well, there we go. Just in time for the majority report to start. Everybody, I wish I could raid the majority report, but they don't have raids set up for there. It starts in 3 minutes, but holy fuck. What did we just witness, people? I am utterly blown away. I cannot believe what we just witnessed. We witnessed it live together. Which made it slightly more tolerable for me, not gonna lie. But, holy shit. It's all really starting to come to me right now. It's like I'm starting to understand what's just happened. I mean, this is
the very definition of totalitarianism.
It's the very definition of totalitarianism. Or as everybody else calls it, totalitarianism. And we're now under military rule in the United States. Coup in the Capitol. What a ridiculous and terrible time to be alive. I guess it's time for a revolution.
Immediately, if not sooner.
All right. Good seeing you all this morning. in this unexpected fashion. Till next time, Space Fams.